And hello, all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Lala Madness's Fierce Review. And you know where to find me at IG, Twitter, YouTube, all my videos. Check out the rest of those as well on YouTube and other platforms at Lala Madness. Now, of course, you know, I usually always give you guys something besides entertainment news. So this time I'm going with health as my choice. So this topic is going to be discussing the risk of lymphoma and butt implants. Now, this was actually reported on NBC News, or this is, and a few other outlets, but this is where I got the original report from, and I also tapped in and got a little bit more information from another source. So here we go. We will be discussing the relations to those two things, which will be lymphoma cancer and butt implants, as well as a slight relation to breast implants as well, and how all the three tie together, and how they may be revising some things as far as the FDA or whatnot. So, a woman who received buttocks implants developed a deadly lymphoma, the same type of cancer previously linked to textured breast implants. Now, surgeons at the University of Southern California said. Now, the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, has been investigating reports linked to textured breast implants to a blood cancer called anaplastic large cell lymphoma. ALCL is the acronyms for that disease. Now, at least 457 women in the U.S. have been diagnosed with breast implant associated ALCL, with more than 600 cases worldwide. So basically 457 of those are in the U.S. alone. Okay, the other 100 or so, 150, are basically around the rest of the world. So basically the numbers are a lot higher here than they are just on a worldwide basis. Okay, so 16 women have basically died. 9 of the 16 have actually been in the U.S. based on this form of cancer and the connection to the breast implants and this form of cancer. Now, in the new case, which is the first butt implant case, a middle-aged woman received bilateral textured silicone gluteal implants. A year later, she developed an ulceration at the site of the implant and was later diagnosed with gluteal implant associated ALCL, which is basically, you know, the same thing that they diagnosed the people with breast cancer. People with breast implants, end up with this form of lymphoma. However, it has now been seen in a butt implant patient. Now, according to a study published in the February 15th Aesthetic Surgery Journal. Now, as far as we're aware, this is the first reported case of ALCL that may be associated with textured gluteal implants, said Dr. Joseph Carey, assistant professor of clinical surgery at Keck School of Medicine at USC. Now, he told NBC News via email, that was actually his statement, that this is the first reported case of this type, ALCL, in these type of implants. Okay, so there are multiple options of implants, including smooth implants, textured implants, and even fat grafting. Okay, so more than 36,000 buttock implants procedures were performed worldwide in 2017, the most recent statistics available according to the International Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery. Now, any person with gluteal implants should follow their doctor's orders about maintenance and care for their implants, Carey suggested. We are constantly vigilant about our practices and report our findings, no matter how they are. Okay. So the FDA first alerted women to the risk from the textured breast implants in 2011 and is scheduled to meet in March, basically to review the safety of all breast implants. Now, in another report by lifescience.com, which they go a little bit more into detail as far as about the report and as far as about ALCL itself. So the woman's case helps to demonstrate the many textured implants could potentially be a risk factor for ALCL, and that in general, the discussion should move from breast implant associated cancer to implant associated cancer to better encompass the full spectrum of the disease. So basically, instead of just saying that this ALCL is associated with only breast implants, they want to make it inclusive of all types of implants, meaning the breast and the buttocks. And then there are other there's PEG implants that some men get. There's implants in other parts of the bodies that people also get. So it may not be just related to the breast any longer, is what they're saying in regards to this. Okay. Now, in the case, the 49-year-old woman received gluteal textured implants about 1 year ago before she was diagnosed with the cancer. Now, doctors observed that she has an ulceration on the skin around her implants, and imaging tests reveal fluid around the implants. So this fluid is now collecting around the scar or around where the implants are placed, which we know generally, your body will create scar tissue or something where your white blood cells will basically collect up in certain areas if they feel like it's a foreign object or something, a foreign body inside of your body. It tries to, encompass it somehow or expel it. That's what the bodies do. However, it's creating a form of cancer. Now, unfortunately, the cancer spread to other parts of her body, including her lungs. A biopsy of a mass in her lungs revealed hallmark, and that's hallmark cells of ALCL, the report said. So hallmark is a type of cells. So despite aggressive chemotherapy, the patient died several months later. So basically, ALCL is not nothing to play with. It is a very aggressive form of cancer, and it's being seen in not only, once again, breast implants, but in butt implants. So a lot of women, when they got butt surgery, they got the implants. There's different types of implants now. They've changed and evolved over the years, some for the better, some for the worse. Some people are going to places and actually getting breast implants put in their butt instead of the actual butt implant, because why, I don't know. However, I've seen it. I've heard the stories about it. However, and now, unfortunately, if it happens to be going rampant, as far as with affecting people that have gotten the surgeries on both ends, whether the breast or the butt, then it could be a messed up situation for a lot of people. So these are the things that they don't tell you about until 10 years later, when everybody's already running around with them. What's the problems with it? This is what Cat Williams was talking about when he said 1-800-RBAD. Okay. So this right here, and I feel sorry for the woman, because you don't get something like this and then expect to inherit cancer from something of this nature, And in most cases of ALCL, it was tied to breast implants. The cancer occurred about 10 years after the implant surgery. So, like I said, 10 years into you getting it is when you could possibly find out that this was the result. But as you can see in the 49-year-old woman's case, not so much. She had, a year before she got the surgery, a year later, she ended up with this type of cancer, and then ended up spreading to other parts of her body really fast, and she ended up passing. Anyway, so she didn't even get the full 10 years, and it's very heart-wrenching for 10 years later to find out this was, the payment on top of the payment that you paid monetarily. You have to now pay with possibly your life, because this form of cancer is generally now, they're saying, caused possibly by the breast implants, and the FDA is going to reevaluate it. Anyway, the authors also stress that doctors should recognize that patients with textured silicone implants other than breast implants may also be at risk of ALCL, and that the patients considering textured implants should be informed about the possible risk and know how to spot signs of implant complications. So I guess this is during the part of the revamping that they're going to be doing. They're going to try to revamp to let people know a little bit more and be aware, like those commercials that you watch that tell you 50 damn symptoms of all the things that could affect you in every way other than trying to remedy that one problem that you're coming for, aka the side effects. So this is one of the side effects of having this particular surgery on both the breast and the buttocks, and now they want to basically make it inclusive altogether as one collective type, ALCL, not just comes from the breast, but are now also being linked to butt implants that people have gotten over the last 10 years. And one of them as recently as a year after. So it could vary in the time frame that you could see it. I guess anywhere from 1 to 10 years is the time span. However, people have been getting this for years, and people have been dying from cancer, but they're dying from cancer from various different ways. And now it's in the breast implants and the butt implants. So I know it's probably not going to be in mainstream news, so I thought I would oh, shit, sorry. Oh, my bad, y'all. Just trying to be cute and do something new. Anyway, I thought that I would let y'all know what's going on as far as with the implants and the risk of lymphoma, which is also ALCL because of the relation to the body part. You can study up on it, research a little bit more. I'm sure it's developing. There'll be more news on it as more things happen. And also, like I mentioned, the FDA is meeting this month to revamp the things that need to be revamped and the disclosures along with this illness. So I guess I'll keep you updated if I get more information on it. Also, stay updated yourself and pass it around. News to share. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Lala Madness's Fierce Review. And it also could be considered a moment of madness because it's my choice. So at the end of the day, thanks for tuning in, and follow me on YouTube, Instagram, IG. Oh, that is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Lala Madness.